So we have with us the next speaker, who's Deep Sagar Verma, also a friend from India, lecturer at NIFT, the National Institute of Fashion Technology, researcher, speaker, avid crypto advocate, and also, I think, a big name in the digital fashion space. He's going to be giving a talk on fashion metaverse. So Deep, you have the floor. I'm going to go ahead and cut my camera, and you can unmute.
Thank you, Aditya. And I have been listening to the last speaker, and yes, indeed, I also asked the same question to me, how I wish that this type of platform or uh, academy could have existed a few years back. So the awareness about the Web3 and the related technologies could have been great. But anyways, uh, so we are on board, and thank you, Fashion Metaverse Conference and the team for inviting me. So a brief introduction of myself. My name is Deep Sagar Verma. I've been working as an assistant professor in National Institute of Fashion Technology, India, and my PhD is on the completion on the same topic, that is the fashion metaverse, how it is going to disrupt the whole industry, specifically with respect to the business opportunities and challenges. And happy to announce that my first book is coming on next month, and the publisher is HP Hamilton in the UK. So the name of the book is The Fashion Metaverse, a Digital Renaissance. So I'm going to discuss a bit about that, what I have included in the book. And since I'm very sure that all the speakers who are here, they are an expert and they have been into this field. But the purpose of writing a book was to make people aware, especially those who don't have any idea that what is the metaverse and Web3 and everything, and how it is going to help them. So I made a small presentation. I'll just share the screen and discuss a bit. So if somebody can tell me that if the screen is visible.
Yeah, Deep, we see your presentation. It's
Yeah.
very clear.
So this is the book cover of the book on the fashion metaverse. So a bit of introduction about me in the last page. So so these are some of the topics which I'm going to discuss. Aditya, if you can confirm that this slide is also visible.
Yes, it is.
Yes, thank you. Okay, so I'm going to discuss the topics which I have covered in the book. So I'll briefly explain that what is this all about. So I've started with the very introduction of the metaverse, and then I've gone through the evolution of technology, and then ultimately coming to the future of the metaverse. So these are some of the topics which are there in the book, and I'm just going to discuss it or explain it. So coming to the next one, very big question that why the metaverse and why it is being considered as a new frontier of fashion, and why there has been hype about it, and then on and off people say that it is dead, it is not going to be there, it was just a fad, and it was just the year of 2021 and 22, and it is gone. But uh, since I have explored it a little bit more, because I have to do it for study also, my PhD also, and then what I found that although there have been ups and downs on the metaverse front, but ultimately it is going to happen, and every single person would be there, and there is no choice. And it is not very far from today. Hardly it will take around some 5 to 7 years, and everybody would be whatever hardware they would be using, but yes, everybody will live in the metaverse. But the question is like, why it is important? So one important aspect of the metaverse, or in broader language like Web 3.2, that we are moving towards the decentralization. And it is not because that there is anti-government or anti-establishment, but uh, for betterment, or the for the mutual benefit of the creators and consumers and all the stakeholders. And decentralization is not happening in just the metaverse, but in fact all the related associated areas, like which is artificial intelligence or blockchain, or even blockchain enabled cryptocurrencies and everything. So every single ecosystem is trying to promote decentralization, because we have seen the benefit of it, like how uh, when we empower people, when we empower the ecosystem, then everybody has their equal right, equal voice, and everybody can be the consumer and creator, and the benefit could be shared. And that is what then what is it moving towards? And when we talk about the metaverse, I will not be biased, but what I've seen that fashion plays an important role, and it is actually at the central point, because the first thing when somebody explores the metaverse, the primary thing is to create an avatar, and an avatar creation, and we know that we try to style our avatar, we try to, probably use some of the clothing which are from the different brands, and even the hair and whatever, the skin and everything. So digital fashion has evolved. And why so? Because probably I may be a little old, maybe some of the speakers may be a little old, but what about the Gen Zs? And leave Gen Zs, what about Alpha generation and the Beta generation? Like, the children who are born in 2025, and what about children born in for last 10 to 12 years, the Alpha generation? I'm sure that they all are into the digital world, and they spend a substantial time. As per McKinsey report, every alpha generation, or on an average, an alpha generation kid, they spend around some 6 hours in digitally, and it can be in any platform, whether it can be YouTube, or it is a Roblox or Minecraft or Epic Games, whatever it is. But yes, and when and because of digitalization in totality, there has been increment in the digital fashion, and that's why this is why it is there, and it is gaining. So that this is the very first topic which I discussed, that why metaverse is important and how fashion is evolving into it. My next chapter of the book is like very fascinating, like how the technology evolved over the period of time, like how is the evolution and growth. So just a small question from the audience: if how many of you have used these devices? I'm sure that you must be knowing, Walkman, or the very old PC, and then the analog mobile phones. And these are some of the examples of the devices, electronic devices. And minded that it is not so far, hardly 15 to 20 years back, these products used to be a lifestyle product, and now it is no more into existence. Obviously there has been the upgraded version or the modified version, and now we have moved to the real time devices and everything. But imagine that one time, I used to have the same Walkman, some probably 20 years back, and I was like one of the coolest persons in my locality, because it used to be a product which everybody aspired to have. But yes, this is how the technology has been evolving for last probably 2 decades. In fact, technology has been evolving since 1945, after the World War II. But yes, the rapid growth in technology is happening for the last 2 decades. And in the last five, in fact, post COVID, there has been rapid adoption and the evolution of technology. So the journey starts from probably Walkman or radio or television to computer to analog phones, and now we are talking about spatial computing, or the metaverse. Like, now everything is spatial, everything is like you just wear the headwear, and then you go into the immersive world and use whatever you want. And it is not that you are just using it. In fact, you are there, you are being the part of that whole ecosystem. So how fascinating it is. And I'll just share my experience that last week I was trying one application. It was like DJing. So I became a DJ in the metaverse, and I downloaded an application. And it was super cool to use a DJ application. Like, you become DJ, you are mixing the songs and everything. And it is so immersive that you feel that you are there, and probably it can be one of the alternate careers people can think of. And this is what is going to be possible in the metaverse. Like, there is no boundary, like anybody can be there. And then probably we have already seen that how Decentraland has come up with an idea of the fashion shows and everything. MVFW, they have done it for probably 2 seasons. So how the fashion models are working in this type of ecosystem, and then obviously navigating into the different applications, whether it is healthcare or fashion or infrastructure or music or whatever it is. And I do not want to isolate anything, because everything is so interconnected. So one ecosystem can be used or utilized for the other one. Now, the next chapter is all about avatars, like how fashionable avatars are, like basically into the trend. As I was talking about the kids, Alpha generation, or in fact even Gen Zs, and even why not we? What about millennials, or even if somebody is from Gen X, right? So everybody, whenever we are into the digital world, we have to create an avatar. So and then we not only just try to create an avatar, but also want to make it fashionable. So these are some of the here the two sites, like one, these two are made on Roblox, and the central one is is in the Minecraft. And these are some of the customized avatars which are created in these gaming platforms. And like the consumers or the users have the options to utilize or in fact customize this type of the clothing, the hair, the accessories, and everything. Means you can put all the fashion elements in your uh, uh, whole digital representation, right? And from here, from the very animated type of characters in gaming platform, now we have moved up to this one. And can anybody uh, could have anybody imagine that this season C is an avatar who actually does not exist in the real world? C is an AI avatar, and her name is Eternal Lopez. She is a Spanish model, and her Instagram page has some sorry, some 300,000 followers. And on top of that, as per the newspaper, her monthly income is approximately $10,000 uh, uh, on an average. How? Because she has collaborated with so many of brands, including Gucci and some of the luxury brands. So and and how it is possible, we have seen that how the growth of AI and everything for the last few years. And it is just a very small technique, and with no code, um, anybody can create such type of models, because you have now Flux Loras, you have Google Collab Research. It is very easy to create, but yes, how do you position, how do you make it more immersive, more interactive with the consumers? That matters. But yes, it is happening. And Eternal Lopez, influencers like Eternal Lopez, there are many, and they are making a good amount of money in terms of collaborations. They are getting famous, and their creators are being recognized. Okay? So we have seen that avatars being coming from the animated one to the realistic one, and it has become so easy nowadays to create. So in the book, what I've covered, I've given so many of examples, and then the process, that how somebody can create all of this type of avatars. Now, coming to the next topic, which is all about non-fungible tokens, NFTs. So again, on and off, I see the discussions on various platforms that non-fungible tokens are dead. It was just an hype of 2021, and there is no utility, there is no real use case. But yes, I would I really object at times. I do understand that there has been a lot of importance of non-fungible tokens, because we are talking about a world which is immersive, which is going to be converged ultimately. And then in that whole ecosystem of any world which is about the metaverse or the metaverse world, we need different characters, need different animation, different photographs, images, videos, whatnot. And those all type of creative art would be the part of non-fungible tokens if it is backed by the blockchain. And yes, generally what we have seen, these type of non-fungible tokens which are sold in OpenSea.io, they are either connected with the Ethereum blockchain or Polygon blockchain and whatnot. And then the validity of this non-fungible token comes because it is unique, nobody can copy, and even somebody copies, they cannot keep it connected to the blockchain. And that's how the uniqueness of the non-fungible tokens come in the picture, because we are discussing about the future and that type of atmosphere where every world will be converged. Ultimately it will merge, and one person will be able to transport from one place to other place without any friction, right? Coming to the topic, which is decentralized finance, cryptocurrencies, and tokens. So I'm sure that the previous speaker has covered a lot. And but yes, is it not fascinating to see the growth of, let's not discuss about all those things. What about the Bitcoin, the growth from 2009 till date? Could anybody imagine that one cryptocurrency whose owner is not known, who's from where it came, and just one 8 pages research paper, 8 pages white paper, or 9 pages, sorry. So 9 pages of research paper had changed the whole world. And now even the US government, even the president, he's very pro into this Bitcoin, and he's trying to make a national reserve for that. And there are so many of countries also, which institutional buyers, and then obviously there are individual buyers. So we have seen that how cryptocurrencies backed by the blockchain, these are disrupting the whole industry. And then we are talking about the metaverse, where in order to have the frictionless transaction, we cannot use the fiat currency. Then we have to use the cryptocurrencies or crypto token, and it will be very easy because it is 24 into 7 on, right? So I've covered also about cryptocurrencies in one of the chapters. Then coming to the generative AI and AI agents, so it is said that 2025 is the year of AI agents, and we have been witnessing the importance of AI agents, because how this technology is leveraging, and how it is giving the benefits to the different stakeholders. And recently, like, every single day you open news or you open your LinkedIn, you will find one new AI has come. And these are some of the AI tools or AI agents, I would say, that which are disrupting the whole industry till date. It is till today. And the latest one is Grok, made by Elon Musk. Then there are some Chinese applications like Manus, DeepSeek, and we already know about the OpenAI and Perplexity, and it is all backed by NVIDIA GPUs. So we have been witnessing that different AI and AI agents are coming, and they are actually changing the whole scenario. Like, you want to create anything, yes, it is all just in your own hands. You can do anything because there is an empowerment to everybody, and which is the true example of the decentralization. So in one of the chapters of the book, I have covered generative AI and AI agents. Creators economy, like, how we have been witnessing about the YouTube, the success story of YouTube and Instagram. You won't believe, like, if I talk about India, it contributes, YouTube in fact contributes a lot in the gross domestic product, GDP of the country. There have been full-time creators who are, and it's not only the learned one or the from the urban place, but also from very, remote villages, remote rural areas. They have become the creators, and they have made the means of their life from them. And this is how the creators economies are working nowadays. And just for 2 days back, I just experimented. I was trying to experiment to create an image, like, when, the movies, from very inspired from the Hollywood animated movies. And just in few seconds, I just created in, a Leonardo AI. Just I had to generate some prompt, and again that could be done from ChatGPT, and you put it in some AI tools, and such type of images will be generated in within few minutes or even with few seconds. See where we are going, and imagine the, like, such type of uh, even imageries, or even movie making and everything is in the ecosystem of the metaverse. And, so it will be so engaging for the kids, and for any consumer, right? Again, talking about, so this particular image, this was my first stint of creation of images, some almost 3 years back in Midjourney. And I just gave only one prompt: fashion metaverse, and from where it came. And I think they have given some cool avatars with, some stylized costumes and makeup and whatnot. Okay, so these were some of the first images I created. So yeah. And then when we talk about fashion, it is not only about the fashion walk or, modeling and everything, but also about selling the product. So we have, like, generally theme board, mood board, color board, season board. So everything, again here, is it not becoming easy to sell the product if it is all in the virtual? You just create the virtual products, and, and just put in the metaverse, and in fact the consumers can go, they select the product, and then ultimately they can buy it, and the actual product can be delivered at home. So this is again created, I don't exactly remember in which AI tool I have made it, but yes, this is a kind of mood board and the product board. So where the grouping of the products have been done. Yeah. And just I'm going to talk about a bit about, again, this is the last chapter of the book, that how do we see the future of the metaverse, especially in the fashion context. So one important aspect of the metaverse, what I find, is interoperability. Like, you can move from any one ecosystem to other, to other, to other, and it is all without any friction, without any hesitation. One can move. Only thing that you should have that the pass or entry pass to that particular place, right? And then it becomes like from Adidas store, somebody can visit to the Nike store, and so on. So, and then One fine day, haptics and olfactory like touch and smell would work in even in the fashion metaverse. Like anybody could, you know, um, you can touch the clothing. You can even smell the clothing, or even smell the, imagine some makeup brands. So what if you can sense the smell of it, and then it will become easy for you to buy the product, right? So that is what we are talking about, the futuristic technology, haptics and olfactory. So that is going to be there, and then ultimately be your own fashion, that you need not to buy the products which are being offered by the brands, or which the company is pushing to buy, but in fact you can create it from your own. And there, what we talk about, like one of the platforms what I have taken as an example, like the sandbox. So what I've seen, that the companies like Gucci and even Lululemon, then Adidas Originals, they all are building their ecosystem, in fact, their virtual stores in the sandbox. And what one fine day that we can see the real virtual store in the metaverse, probably the sandbox, or it can be any other platform as well. And then we as consumers go inside that, select the product, choose the product, in fact trial also, and then have the sense of haptics and olfactory sense, touch and smell, and then ultimately order it, and then the same product can be delivered at your home, and no need to go somewhere else. And it is not only about the selection of the product, but customization also. So that is what the future of fashion metaverse, what I see, and my study also says, and you will find a bit more detail in the book. So that was that is something which I believe that going to happen very very soon, and we are looking for a promising future. So so since we have limitation of time, and yeah, there are so many speakers lined up. So anyways, so thank you very much. And just in case you want to get connected to me, I'm sure that many of you are already, but so this is my LinkedIn QR code. And thank you very much for giving this opportunity to speak in front of all of you.
Thank you very much, Mr. Verma. If you want to just continue that screen share of the last slide for a couple of seconds so that people
Yes, sir.
could take a
Sure,
quick
sure,
overview.
sure,
So
sure. I'll do that.
I think a lot of key takeaways. I still remember that slide of yours about what was a prestige item back in the 70s and 80s, and how that relates to why NFTs are meaningful today, why NFTs have use cases, and how the future is evolving. Whether we like it or not, we are going increasingly digital. Our avatars are going to mean something because we're spending a lot of time digitally as we speak, and we are going to be connecting digitally as well. So it makes most sense that it is in 3D. But even if it doesn't happen in 3D tomorrow, it's going to happen eventually in 3D. So I think a lot of gold nuggets in your talk, and we're going to go ahead and hopefully everyone's got a glimpse of Deep's socials. If not, you should catch him on LinkedIn. He does share a lot of useful content that keeps me up to date at least. And we have the moderator Serena from the next talk. We also have and I also see Aiden. So thanks, Deep. If you could stop the screen share, I
Yes,
could
sure.
give the mic over to Serena, who's the moderator, and she can take over from there.
Yeah, thank you very much, Aditya, and
Thank you.
thank you everybody for this opportunity.
Wonderful. Thank you very much.